Before we go any further, I would like to fix some of this broken CSS we have in the background. As I've repeated several times, this CSS is a part of the default project that we get whenever we create a new Next project. To remove that tiling in the background, I'm going to find the app directory and the globals.css file inside there. Then inside that file, I'm going to delete everything after the 3 Tailwind imports. So I'll select everything after the 3 Tailwind imports and just delete it. You'll notice that we are left with 3 Tailwind imports, and in your editor, they might have a warning. So I've got that yellow squiggly right here. You can 100% ignore that warning. It has no issue whatsoever. You don't need to worry about it. If I save this file now and flip back over, I'll see that the tiled background is gone. Very good. All right, so next thing up, we've got some links on our homepage, but if I click on, say, performance, I'm taken to the performance page and I don't see the links anymore. You might recall that in our original mockups, we showed having that set of links at the top, so kind of this nav bar up here on every different page. So in short, we really want to get these 3 links to appear everywhere across all of our different pages. One way that we could do this very easily would be to take that series of link elements and just copy paste it to our other page files. But that would be a lot of copy pasting, probably not a good idea. Another approach we could take would be to extract these elements right here into a reusable header component or something like that, and then use that header component in all of our different page files. That's better, but it still has a lot of copy pasting between our different page files. So let me show you a slightly better approach, a better way to get some common UI elements to display on all of our different pages across the entire application. To do so, we're going to take advantage of one other file that you might see inside the app directory called the layout.tsx file. Here it is right here. Let me tell you about what this layout file is doing for us. Okay, so as I mentioned several times, whenever a user goes to, say, localhost 3000/performance, Next is going to try to find a folder inside of our app directory called specifically performance. It'll then try to find a page file inside there. When that file is found, Next is going to take the component inside there, and it's going to do a little bit more than what we discussed in the last couple of videos. It's not just going to immediately take that component and show it inside the browser. Instead, there's one extra little step that's going on here. The component inside that page file will be taken and then rendered as a child of whatever component is exported from the layout file. So this layout file right here is kind of like a global layout. It's kind of like a global parent component that is used for all of our different page components. So in short, when we access localhost 3000 performance, here's kind of like what we can imagine happens behind the scenes. We find the performance page component that's taken and rendered inside of the component that is defined inside the layout.tsx file. And that process occurs for all of our different page components. So if we go to, say, the reliability page, that page component will be displayed inside of layout. If we go to scale, it'll be displayed inside of layout. If we go to the home page, that will also be displayed inside of layout. And that means that this layout component is a great location to put some UI elements or some JSX that we want to display, kind of wrapping every different page component inside of our entire application. Let's try out a practical example of this right away. So back inside my editor, I'll go to the home page. I'm going to find the div with the 3 links inside of it. I'm going to cut that. I'll go to the layout file. Inside of here, we'll find a React component called root layout. So this is kind of like the most parent root, most wrapping component in our entire application. I'm going to expand the body element right here. And then right above that, I'm going to place the div with the 3 links. Whenever this layout component is rendered, it is passed a prop called children. And this children prop is going to be the page component that we're trying to actually show to the user. So children right here, that's going to be like our performance page or the reliability page or the scale page. So now when we render this thing inside the browser, I would expect to see a div with 3 links inside of it, and then whatever page component we were actually trying to access. Before we test this out, we do need to fix up an import. We need to import the link component into this file. So at the very top, I will import link from next/link. All right, I'm going to save that. Now if I flip back over, I should now see my 3 links at the top, regardless of what page I'm visiting. So if I go to performance, I'll see performance page with the links. If I go to reliability, yep. If I go to scale, very good. And if I go back manually to the home page, I'll still see the 3 links at the top as well. Okay, this looks good. Now, the last thing we need to add in here, we don't actually have a link that we can click on to go back to the home page. So I'm going to add in one additional link. I'll change the href to just slash, and then the text to home. Now, if I save this, I can navigate between all 4 pages of my application. Very good.